Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, and this is the time for a very interesting and very important question, writing task 1, diagram based question for academic Ielts, and this has been there in last month, okay, 2025. So it is really very important to understand what exactly we are going to write in such questions. The following diagram shows nitrogen sources. One thing. Second, concentration levels in the groundwater of a coastal city, right? So you have to judge in first 15 to 20 seconds that what exactly it is talking about. Do not need, to go into deeper details. No need to be technically strong. Only the headings will work. If we know about the nitrogen cycle, that's okay, that's good. But if we do not have any clue, even then we can score more than 8 bands. That is what I'm going to teach you. Okay. Now the name, the question, okay, two things are mentioned: nitrogen sources and concentration levels in groundwater, and which kind of city? Coastal city. And this is the same line which is mentioned in every writing task. Summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. And we have a word limit of 150 words and we have to cover it in 20 minutes. So the first thing is that you should mark with pencil with light hands that which are the prominent features. When you look at the picture, what exactly you notice in first 5 seconds. First thing I have marked: concentration of nitrogen in groundwater proportional to color density. Okay, I have marked it. Okay, the second section, coastal vegetation. Third, domestic and market gardens. First, the next thing, it is talking about something industrial. Okay. And this section is waste disposal, and arrowheads are there. So it shows there is a cycle which is going clockwise. And what is this section? This is groundwater flow direction. That means something is happening below the earth's surface. Okay, so you should know maximum synonyms. They are not going to judge how technically strong you are. They are going to judge your form, your grip on the English language, and you should be grammatically strong. And there should not be repetition of the words. If you are done with your synonyms, you can use the words alternatively, not consecutively. Okay, so let us cover this one. The question arises that what exactly we will start with and from where. What should be the pattern of attempting such questions? Okay, let's do it. Now, in this question, we will be writing 4 paragraphs. It is really very important to understand what exactly we are going to include. The first paragraph will be of introduction, second, overview, third, details, and the final one is summary. As of now, we have to focus on first, introduction. As we have understood the statement, now we have to decide how many words, how many lines, and what is the exact content we have to write in the introduction part. Let's do it. The first paragraph is of introduction. We have to write 5 to 6 lines, and 2 hints you have to keep in your mind always, whether it is line graph, bar graph, chart, some pie, table, anything. You have to keep these hints in your mind. First is rephrasing. Second, do not copy. What is the meaning of this? That means in introduction, regardless of the question, type of the question, you have to write the same thing which is given in the statement, but you are rephrasing it. That means you are changing the structure of the statement. Meaning is exactly same. You are using synonyms. Okay, and by keeping in mind that the meaning should be same, but do not copy word for word. Okay, copying word for word is really leaving bad impact on the examiner. Okay, so how we are going to mold the statement, we have to decide it in the introduction part with the given question itself. Now we are going to extract the introduction out of the given picture, out of the given statement, but by molding the statements, okay, by rephrasing. The meaning should be same. Now instead of this diagram word, we can use picture, okay. The given picture now shows, we can use depicts, and 2 points nitrogen sources, so we can mold like sources of nitrogen. Concentration levels, levels of concentration, okay. Groundwater, water below earth. And with city, coastal city, instead of city we can use coastal area. Okay, so I'm telling you the tricks that you will be writing. The given picture depicts the cycle flow of nitrogen in terms of its levels of concentration, along with, you're using the linking words, along with the sources of nitrogen, particularly in a coastal area. So these are the first three lines of your introduction. Now, next, because we have to write 5 to 6 lines, okay? So you can start with this broadly, because you are not going to, go into deeper details in the introduction itself. No, we are just giving the introduction. We are not telling the details as of now. So you will be writing broadly, the complete data, okay, is illustrated. This word is really very, very useful in writing task 1, illustrated, okay. Instead of using simple words showing, depicting, like this, because we have already used the depicted word, so we are using illustrated in the 5 major sections. As I told you, I have marked with light hands, okay, so that I should not get confused while writing the introduction. So my full focus should be on the introduction and on the marks which I have done with pencil. That I will be writing coastal vegetation, 5 major sections, namely domestic and market gardens. Then this one, industrial areas, because this is making no sense. Industrial areas, you can say. Next, waste disposal, and the last one we do not have to forget, because this is the major one. And what word you will write? Underground content, because areas you have already used, section already used. So what is left with synonym? Content, underground content. So I'm going to show you the handwritten introduction for this now. Now, this is the introduction part I was talking about. This is your question. I have placed the question also so that you can relate the things. The given picture depicts the cycle flow of nitrogen in terms of its level of concentration. Now, this is also a trick, to change the structure of the sentence, to create variety. I have mentioned this part first and this part later, right? So levels of concentration along with, the sources of nitrogen. Particularly, that means we are giving importance to this word. Which region, which area, particularly in a coastal area. And broadly, that means you are not going into deeper details, you are just giving headings. Broadly, the complete data is illustrated in the 5 major sections. That is, now you are naming the sections: coastal vegetation, domestic and market gardens. From here only we are copying. Industrial areas, not to forget this word, comma, waste disposal I have taken from this, and the joining word, underground content. So this makes the best introduction and it can grab you more than 8 bands. Okay. Now let us focus on the next one. Now the second paragraph is overview. I just told you that we have to write 5 to 6 lines in the overview. But what exactly are the hints? With the help of these hints, you will never forget what exactly you are going to write. First is journal trend. That means if it is a graph, whether the graph is increasing in nature, falling in nature, there is some consistency, stability, or the if the chart is given the values are rising or falling. So this makes your introductory line of the overview. Now what is this hint? Maxima minima, that at which point, which year, which level, what is the maximum value and what is the minimum value, that will make the second line of the second paragraph, right? And the last hint is that most noticeable features. That means you will write the prominent feature, the significant feature. When you look at the question, what exactly do you notice in first 5 seconds? That will become the most noticeable feature, and you have to end the overview by writing that feature. Okay, so these are the hints for the overview. Now let us see in this question what exactly we can write. Now, in this question, for overview, that means you are going to begin the deeper details, but that too step by step, one by one. What should be the first line of the overview? That it is crystal clear from the diagram. Now, why I'm using the same word? Because I'm done with the synonyms in the first paragraph. Okay, picture and diagram will be used alternatively, not consecutively. So it is crystal clear from the diagram that the amount of nitrogen, okay, I'm not using level, I'm not using percentage, amount of nitrogen here you can see below the earth, because it is written groundwater, that means below the earth obviously, is directly proportional to which parameter? Color density. We are not bothered about what is this. Okay, we are just forming our overview in a best possible manner. Okay, covering the facts which are already there. We are not, alternating anything. So the concentration of nitrogen below the earth is directly proportional to color density. Okay, this is the first line. Now, what is the massive contribution by which thing? Massive, major, huge. As you can see, these are the dark portions. Okay, and this area is much bigger than the upper one. So you will be writing the massive contribution of nitrogen to the ground. Okay, groundwater is through what? The seepage of the waste material, and waste material is getting getting entered into the ground via these things. As you can see, the all the sections are having their outlets. And how will you name the outlets? From which area? One thing, household, right? I'm taking this word, household parts, I'm naming it, not sections, not areas, because these words are already used, right? And still I have some synonyms left. So household parts. And next you can see this one, seepage via market and industries leakage. I'm combining, right? From their what? Storage tanks, right? So you are going to begin the details step by step. So these are the best lines for writing overview in this task, right? So what comes next? Now, this is the handwritten overview, the final one, which is the second paragraph. It is crystal clear from the diagram. Again, I'm using diagram because I have already used picture, then diagram, then again picture, then again diagram. Okay, alternatively, that the amount of nitrogen below Earth is directly proportional to the color density from here, right? And this is really good word. Instead of main or prominent or major, you can use the massive contribution of nitrogen to the groundwater is through the seepage of waste material via. So we have used all the section. Okay, we can't write each and everything, but we have to cover most of the part in our own few lines. Okay, that's why the lines are long. So I have written waste material via household parts words use, and then market and industries. Now apostrophe s is used because I'm talking about both. Leakage from their what? I just can notice here written storage tanks. We need not to bother about the concept. What is happening over here? We are just molding the things. We are just molding the given information. Do not try to write the reason or the things from yourself, even if you are technically strong. I just suggest you not even a single line you should mention from your side that this could be the reason or that due to population. Students have their tendency to write the reason for each thing. No, no, no. We are not going to write anything on our own, even if that is correct. Never. Writing task 1, we are done with the introduction, we are done with the overview. Now the next one. The third paragraph is of details and it has got the maximum weightage. So write very carefully because the number of words will be written maximum in this paragraph. Whether the percentages are given, some figures are given, years, okay, in the chart, in the table, bar graph, pie chart. Okay, so you have to mention those exact data values in details. So first of all, you should keep these hints in your mind. Okay, keep on revising it. 3 comparisons are to be done, minimum 3 comparisons. Those are really very, very important to mention. Okay, so just keep this 3 things in your mind along with these 4. Now, what are these 4? These are some words that will make your details very impressive because you will be comparing some value to the other value. So, to create variety, you can use as compared to. Okay, one thing is happening in this year as compared to something in the other year, and half of it, some value is half of it, double of that, one third of this. So such type of vocabulary creates a very good impact on the examiner and grabs maximum bands. So in this question, what exactly we are going to write? Let's nail it. Now we have to mark with light hands again that what precise data we are going to include in our details. As I told you, it has got maximum weightage. Okay, so you should mark it quickly so that you should not skip anything and you need not to think for so long, because time is really important, time management, right? So one thing I have taken: fertilizer, nitrogen fixation by vegetation, oxidation, and this is groundwater discharge zone. I have to, make sentences by using these things: nitrogen uptake by soil particles, salt water interface, then I have to talk about denitrification. Okay, so these will be more than enough. If you are just noticing your paragraph is more than enough, then stop. Okay, do not elongate it unnecessarily, right? So how the details will be there? First of all, you have to mark it that which lines are to be taken. Now you have to make it very impressive using, good vocabulary. Let's do it. Here it begins. Furthermore, now always leave one line between each paragraph, okay, between each two paragraphs, because the clarity matters a lot. Do not forget to leave one line. This is introduction, this is overview, then I left, one line, then I started details. And furthermore, the linking words, leave a very good impact on the examiner to grab more bands. Furthermore means I'm attaching it, I'm telling something else about it. It moves in clockwise direction to coastal plants and vegetations through what is coming in between. As you can see here, the salt water interface I have marked, so I have to include it. And in which manner I can include it, that I just wrote about the cycle direction, clockwise direction to the coastal plants and vegetations through or via. Okay, salt water interface, I'm just copying it word for word. Salt water interface, I'm not altering the specific things, but I have used it in my sentence and to make it very impressive. Besides, now it was furthermore, sometimes it is along with, in addition to, moreover. So besides, there is denitrification and absorption of nitrogen. Here we have marked that we have to take this, okay, fact. Besides, there is denitrification and absorption of nitrogen by the soil particles. I'm not talking on my own, I'm taking from here only. By the soil particles at the interface of what? This is air and underground water. So you can write at the interface of air and earth, right? Apart from this, now this one more point will be added to your written material, okay, because you are using furthermore, besides, now apart from this. What I'm going to tell? Oxidation of nitrogen. Not writing word for word, nitrogen oxidization. No, no. Oxidation of nitrogen, just like we did sources of nitrogen, nitrogen sources, right? Levels of concentration, concentration levels. So alteration was there and same is done over here, right? Oxidation of nitrogen by lightning and its fixation by plants. Here it is written by lightning, okay? And vegetation means plants. So instead of writing vegetation, you are just using plants. can be easily noticed. Now, these last four words make your sentence different. It creates variety. Okay, can be easily noticed, observed. Such structures are really good in every type of writing task one. One of the observable features. Now this is something else, and I just taught you in my a few minutes ago that such kind of words make your paragraph really very impressive. One of the observable features is that you are going to add some more, right? Groundwater discharge, this one we have marked. This one also, groundwater discharge zone is written, but to make it different, to create variety, we are writing groundwater discharge into the sea, right? Instead of ocean, we are writing sea. The fertilizer used in crops, here fertilizer, okay, and these are used where? It is quite obvious, these are used in crops. We are not using plants word, we are not using vegetation, because we have already used it. So what is the next synonym? Crops. Also add the figures. This is also good. Add into the level, add into the percentage, amount. Instead of that, we are using a different word. Add the figures to the levels of what? Again, nitrogen, and that too below ground, underground, or below earth, all are done. So something new you have added, below ground. So this was till details. I hope these paragraphs are clear to you. The first one, introduction, then the overview, then the details. Now the last one. Now, before starting the summary, I would like to tell you some hints which you have to keep in your mind while writing the summary. First thing is, it should be connected to the overview. You should not write random things. Okay, you are concluding something. So, whatever you have written in the introduction and the overview, just try to connect your sentences to the content of introduction and overview. Okay, don't copy word for word, but I will tell you how to connect it, right? But what I have written, be careful. Why? Because you don't have to write your own opinions. Okay, in the flow, we always mention this, that this has happened because of that. No, no own reasons, self made reasons are not allowed. Why the graph is falling, why the admissions got down, why the people are not, the numbers are falling, people are not getting admissions. So maybe because of this reason, that reason, no, not at all. Okay, whatever is written in the chart, in the table, in the picture, in the pie chart, you have to stick to that. Okay, so this will make your summary the best one. Now let us do the summary in context of this particular question. Now this is the summary of just 4 to 5 lines, very precise, very succinct. Okay, overall, and do not forget to leave one line after the paragraph of details. Overall, the prominent sources include wastewater disposal by households as well as, okay, factories. So we are using, instead of industries, we are using word factories present nearby, not coastal area, seaside area in the city. That's all. So we are writing the introduction again, but the sentence structure and the vocabulary is different. One thing is same. What is that? The meaning. Meaning is same. We can't alter the things. Okay. So that makes your more than 8 bands writing task 1. I hope everything is very clear to you. If you still feel some doubts are there, you're most welcome to comment on my video. I will be uploading the solutions immediately. Trust me. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye bye.